I loved Bobby. I mean, I can't say he was my favorite because of course, I loved Dwayne too. But Bobby and I think, were closer than I was to anyone else on the cast. And one of the reasons is a couple of incidents that happened that were not on the set. First of all, in terms of being on the set, again, he was a very generous actor. I was really lucky in the shows that I did to work with people. I didn't even know that there were prima donnas. I mean, we just didn't have them. And he would always make certain that, I mean, nobody stepped on anybody else's lines on purpose. Everybody had their timing down pat. Everybody's joke got the same kind of wonderful play from the other people. We didn't wait for it, but we didn't, step on it either. No one would move when someone else was doing something funny. We just knew how to take care of each other on the set. But Bobby actually helped me so much. Two times when we were doing things that were associated with the show, but not on the set. The sponsors of the show often would send us places, and based on whatever they wanted us to do. Like if they were doing a gathering of all their salespeople, which they were one of the sponsors in San Diego, then we were ordered to go down and be part of the dog and pony show at their gathering of all their salespeople and administrative people. So we went down to San Diego, and in those days I was still drinking, which I stopped quite a while ago, but drinking, and so was Bobby. And drinking, I don't know why I did it, because it always made me sort of nauseous. And so we were doing our thing, and we hadn't gone on for the last piece of it yet, and we were supposedly going to do this piece. And I felt really, really nauseous. And I told Bobby, and he said, well, let's get the hell out of here. And we left and he got, I don't know whose car he got, because we had flown down. But he said, come on, I've got a car. And I got in the car, and he drove me all the way back home from San Diego. He stopped 3 times so that I could get out and be sick, including on the freeway. I mean, I'm sure it was extremely embarrassing, but because it was me and Bobby, I wasn't embarrassed. And I felt like he took care of me, like at that point, like a big brother. He wasn't big brotherly on the set, but I just felt if something was wrong, they'd have my back. And that was one proof of it. And another one was even actually more dramatic. In order to kind of push the show in the South, we were dispatched to Birmingham, Alabama, to the Alabama State Fair, to kind of push for the show, to make an appearance. You're always told, go there and make an appearance, etc. So we did, and here we are in Birmingham, Alabama, and I believe it was maybe 62 or early 63. This sounds like a familiar year in Birmingham, Alabama. So we're staying at the Tutla Dinkweiler Hotel, and several things happened to us. We were taken to a children's hospital to make a guest appearance and visit really bed to bed with the children. Which children were we allowed to visit bed to bed with? Oh, you guessed, the white children. And so Bobby and I, being from California, actors, rebels, and we didn't like that crap, we took off from our handlers, went downstairs into the basement, which is where the black children, their floors were in the hospital, black children, black nurses, black doctors. And it was just as embarrassing, I think, for the black doctors and the black children as it was for the white doctors and the white children, because we crossed the line and we didn't know. But he just grabbed my hand, and we ran downstairs, and we're like, hi, we're from Dobie Gillis, and we wanted to come visit you as well. So we also, one night we were out quite late, went back to the hotel, and when we got in the elevator, in those days they had elevator operators, you didn't just push the buttons. And so it was an African-American woman, kind of an elderly woman, sitting on kind of a stool, and they had these kind of things that would take you, up to the floors. And there were 3 white guys in the elevator with us who were insulting her from the minute they got on the elevator and calling her names that we don't use anymore in any kind of company. And Bobby got angry and told him to stop. And by the time we got up to our fifth or sixth floor, they had bloodied his nose and beaten him up. And so I had to help him get back to the room. But I was really proud of him. I was really proud of him because he stood up for her. These kind of experiences, I wouldn't say that we made any dent in, what was going on in Birmingham, but we were shocked. I mean, we would walk down a sidewalk, and black people, we didn't understand this was the law. They would be required by law to step off the sidewalk and walk in the gutter because a white person was walking on the sidewalk. So after we got home, and then it was water hoses, shooting people in the street, and Birmingham just erupted. We kind of understood better what had gone on. But my generation at that time and his wasn't much of an activist generation. It's almost like we felt like we did what we could. And I felt even closer to him after that. It was like we'd gone through a really serious thing together. And he again had, as they used to say, shown his mettle.